Hey, this is Dr. Ryan, and I just really briefly wanted to explain a little bit of why chiropractic is so important. So many people think of chiropractic as simply a back pain or a neck pain or a headache resolution, and it absolutely is. We help a lot of people with those problems every single day, and we're really good at doing it. We're actually one of the best, if not the best way of doing it that's been shown out there in studies. I mean, we've been compared to drugs, we've been compared to other alternative therapies. And in all honesty, we've knocked it out of the park and kicked everybody's tail at it. So why does this work so well? Well, when most people look at chiropractic, they think of the biomechanics of everything. They really think of, well, my muscles hurt, or I carry all my stress in my muscles, or I get my bones and my joints cracked by a chiropractor and they move better, so therefore my biomechanics are better, or my discs are healthier because I'm moving better. And all of these are true. You know, obviously, when your biomechanics are sound, when your body's moving and aligned properly, when you're carrying your head over your shoulders properly, when you're carrying your head over your hips properly, and your spine is moving the way that it should, everything is going to work better. Your muscles are going to be more efficient. Your bones and your joints are going to be healthier. They're going to move better, and your discs are going to be healthier because those bones and joints are moving and aligned better. But there's so much more to this story. There's so much more, and that's why this is really important. If that's all there was, there wouldn't be any reason to even have this video, because most people at least get an idea of this. But when you get down to it, what's really, really cool about what we do is how we affect the nervous system, which you can see behind me, and we'll jump into that back there as well. But there's something called efferent and afferent, and really this is just the way that the brain talks to the body and the way that the nervous system communicates within itself. And so when your spine is misaligned, when things don't move properly, we have problems in this system. These don't work as well. If you can imagine the cellular phone, or your phone signal isn't 100% the way that it could be if everything was aligned properly and was moving properly. And because if that's not moving properly, if there are misalignments, you're unable to actually perceive your environment, both your external environment, like what's around me, but also to your internal environment, like where are your joints in relation to other joints. And that's why, or how your organs are functioning, even, just things that are going on within your stomach that you don't even think about. Your nervous system is constantly controlling. It's making sure everything is doing exactly what it should be doing. But if you're not getting that signal properly, that efferent and afferent signal is not basically moving through the way that it should, these don't work right. So you have malfunctions. You could possibly even get diseases simply from having a misaligned spine, believe it or not. So many people always want to say it's always nutrition, or it's always the fact that you're not moving right. But all of those things play a huge role. But also too, the spine and how it moves plays an enormous role in the overall health of your body. And so if you can't perceive your environment properly, then obviously you cannot respond to your environment properly. And so then your immune system may be in the tank. You may get sick and get colds and ear infections and allergies and all these crazy things that you shouldn't even have. But somewhere along the line, something's happened. You may have messed up muscle activation. So your movements, your efficiency of your movements, your athleticism, believe it or not, is actually affected by how your spine and how your nervous system works. And not only that, like we talked about, your organs can actually malfunction and will malfunction if your nervous system is not properly aligned, or if your spine isn't properly aligned, which will cause problems within that nervous system. So I'm not saying that every disease is 100% caused by this, but I can tell you without a doubt that when there are problems within that spine, I can tell you without a doubt that these things are absolutely happening whether you feel them or not. And that's why it's so important for me, and I feel, and I tell all my patients, it's so important not only to wait, not to wait until there's pain or problems, but to get adjusted from the day, or get checked at least, from the day you're born until the day you die, because it just makes your body more efficient. Last but not least, the stress response. This is huge. This is so huge. What most people don't even realize is a couple things can happen with the nervous system. One, you can get increased sympathetic tone. Now the reason that's important, if you go back here, the sympathetics control so much. You have two components of your nervous system. You have your sympathetic nervous system and your parasympathetic nervous system. Your sympathetic nervous system is that fight or flight system. And the reason that's very important, it's a smart system if it happens in short bursts. So if you're getting chased, or if you have a stressful event, or if you're, running the football to score that last touchdown, this is important to have. However, you don't want to be stuck in that sympathetic mode every day, every single day. And you absolutely are if your spine is misaligned. And it's going to affect things like your immune system, your blood pressure, your organs again, as you can see here, the disc tissue, and also the muscles that surround the joints as well. So that's one huge reason, again, why getting adjusted and making sure your spine is moving properly is so vitally important to your health and the movement of your body and just how everything works. So one other aspect when I talk about the stress response is how that subluxation affects the spinal cord and goes down to what they call the adrenal medulla. As you can see, it actually will bypass the brain because it has to get there so fast, but when your spine is misaligned or damaged, what will happen is that adrenal medulla will go right up to the hypothalamus, which is called the HPA axis, and actually sends a stress cascade through your body without you knowing it. Believe it or not, this is happening when your spine is misaligned. It doesn't just mean you have a headache. It doesn't just mean you have back pain. This is actually, these things are actually being created in your body by this response. So a lot of people have these symptoms and they don't even realize that by getting adjusted and making sure their nervous system is working properly makes such a crucial part of their health and their overall well-being. And you can see the stress response. I mean, hormone problems, cortisol, catecholamines, your heart rate, blood pressure, so cardiovascular disease, blood glucose, insulin resistance, so things that happen with your liver, and also diabetes and blood sugar handling and all these things, short-term memory, growth hormones. So as you can see, when you're getting adjusted and your spine is moving properly, you're actually aging better than what you would otherwise. Your body is handling stress better than what it would otherwise. You're actually just living a healthier life. And that's why, looking at all this stuff and the things on that board are so vitally important to your health.